All right, let's go to John. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, John.
All right, John Boy.
All right. To be fair, I think Cundy handled himself quite well there compared to another well-known radio host when a certain Chelsea player phoned up years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Go on.
Frank Lampard. We'll just say Frank Lampard and leave it at that.
Oh, yeah. I think that was a different radio station, though, wasn't it? Wasn't this one?
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Tottenham.
Oh, here we go.
They've done really well. Hopefully they get through to the last
here
game.
we go. I see what you're up to here, John. See what you're doing, mate.
And then if you get lucky, you'll get an easy game in the last 16. And then if Arsenal get you in the last day, I'll call that a bye.
Yes, I knew something was coming.
Yeah.
Something was coming. Something was
Now.
John, listen. Don't you're doing great, Arsenal. Fair play to us. Don't worry about us. We're fourth. That basically says
14th.
Throughout Europe, we are the fourth best team in Europe.
You're not fourth yet. The other team's got to play tomorrow night. You'll probably be sixth or seventh after tomorrow.
We're fourth.
Right now, you're not. Tomorrow you'll be. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, it's interesting. An interesting discussion talking about Tottenham and this and that and the other. Look, I'll ask you the question. If you put Brighton in any of the top leagues in Europe, where do you think they'd finish by the end of the season?
Brighton? I think they'll be muscling in and around easily European places.
Top six. Agreed?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I would say European places, yeah.
Go on, what's your argument?
I think they'd be top six, top four. Look, the Premier League is so difficult. You don't talk about Tottenham losing to West Ham, but Liverpool couldn't beat Burnley the other day. We struggled to beat Wolves at home. United struggled against Wolves and ended up drawing, didn't they? It's just a tough league.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You play these European teams and you think they're great teams. They're not great teams.
No one's saying they're great teams. No, I'm not saying
teams.
No, but Borussia Dortmund are a top German side.
Second.
Yeah, what are they? Yeah, there's only one team in Germany.
There isn't this season,
but there ain't. I mean, obviously, Bayern Munich are the best team, but Dortmund are a European giant.
It's got a lot to do with the way football's played. You know, obviously, it's a bit more technical in Germany. I think the physicality of the Premier League is where it's so difficult for the better teams to break down the lower teams. I think that's the biggest problem. And they're all set up to counter, and I think it's really different. That's why teams like Arsenal are terrified of opening up against teams. So they're terrified of getting countered. I mean, the game against Liverpool, Odegaard made a little mistake in the 20th minute, gave the ball away, and we didn't get the ball back for 15 minutes.
John, what about Eze? I've got to talk to you about Eze, John, because, when he come in, you hijacked him from Spurs, and, everyone was buzzing off the move, and he has improved the squad, but he hasn't quite, apart from the game against Tottenham, he hasn't really done anything.
Well, I've watched Eze since QPR. I watched him at QPR. And, I go QPR.
He's a great talent.
You can see what kind of footballer he is. He's, like you said, he's a bit of a lightweight. He's got to learn to develop, strengthen up and fit. Because you look at Saka, you were talking about Saka being one of the best players in the world, okay? The reason people don't think he's the best player in the world because he's not as skillful as a Yamal. But Saka is the best right winger in the world because he can do everything. He can tackle, he can hold the ball.
He's not the best right winger in the world.
I think he is because I think he's just all round.
He's better than Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, much better than you. Yeah, much better than you. Lamine Yamal wouldn't be effective in the Premier League. He'd look more like Madueke in the Premier League. Whereas Saka, he plays within a team, a strong team, and he does everything. So that's why I love Saka so much.
Is he better than Dembele?
Dembele's not a winger anymore. Well, Dembele.
Is he better than Doué?
At the moment. I personally think for Arsenal, he's the best player they could have because.
I mean, you just said he's best in the world.
Well, I think he is because I think if you put him in any team, and he might in another league, in an easier league, playing for a Real Madrid or Barcelona, he might be a bit more fluid, a bit more attacking. But because he plays in a tough Premier League, he has to. You can see the difference when.
No, listen, I'm not. I love Saka. I think he's brilliant, and I agree with what you're saying. But I don't necessarily agree he's the best player in the world. But
footballer, yeah, because the reason you don't see it is because he's a complete footballer. So you're looking at Eze. Eze's not a complete footballer. He's been a counter-attack man for these teams where he's the luxury of like waltzing around and just looking for that counter with space in behind. He hasn't got that now.
John, I agree with most of what you're saying. Actually, I think the way that he sets up Saka is perfect for Arteta. Yeah. We were talking about Eze. Unless you get back and defend without the ball and you make yourself an extra body, you ain't in his team. And he does that so well. I just wonder, because I remember Eden Hazard at Chelsea, and there was a lot of conversations about Jose Mourinho stifling Hazard. He's getting him to do too much defensive work. We're not seeing the Hazard. He's got the handbrake on him.
Yeah.
Do you think there's an element of that maybe, that we are seeing this version of Saka, and under a different manager, we would see another version of Saka, because he wouldn't be asked to do but he does it brilliant. It's not criticism. I'm just asking what you think about that.
I personally think it's the way they play. Personally, I think Arteta, he's brilliant. He's like Jose Arteta. Did you see what he did tonight with Declan Rice? Did you see what he did? Has anyone spoke about it?
Go on.
He put him on for 10 minutes. He grabbed the guy around the waist and deliberately got a yellow card, so he misses the next game against the nobodies.
Okay.
And that was planned. 100%. He was even smiling. He was listen.
I mean,
he was smiling.
He was planned, but
well, Jose did it. Jose did it. So why not? It's all in the game. You're allowed to do it.
Well, I mean, go on. It's clever. Well, Ramos done it, didn't he? I remember, was it not Ramos?
Yeah, they all do it.
Yeah.
I know back in the day when the old Carabao Cup come around, you four Lielas in, the Carabao Cup first round.
But this is a massive difference, because we're going to play in the last 16, and we don't want Declan getting banned for like a quarter-final game. He's got his 2 yellows, and now he's clean again. So, hopefully he can get through to the final and not get banned. But I personally think Arteta's brilliant and he's got a way of playing, but I do think he's very tactically inflexible. He won't allow, especially in the Premier League. Tonight actually played a loose team. He played Eze and Jesus are not physically as capable as the normal guys, and it was quite loose at first. I don't know if you watched the game, but it was very loose. It was very loose. You haven't seen Arsenal play like that for a long time, because they didn't have the physicality, and they just said, right, we're just going to bounce it about and take chances. But he doesn't really want to play like that. He doesn't suit Eze. Do you know what I mean? I personally think against the lesser teams, he could risk dropping Zimmermende and play Odegaard and Eze. And he did try it, and he got injured, Odegaard, didn't he, in one game earlier in the season?
Yeah.
But he's quite inflexible, Arteta. And listen, they're winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're winning games.
Can't stop winning. You're a winning machine at the minute.
You keep winning.
Keep on the march. Even when City, drop points and get beat, you still pick up a point. I know Gooners weren't happy with that point away to Forest, but it's another point gained. I totally agree.
John, thanks for your call, mate. Keep them coming in. We'll squeeze a few more on. We've got Ben Jacobs. He's coming on next to talk about the latest transfer rumours. Plus, Jack Grealish has got a bad injury.